Pain is temporary. It may last for a minute, an hour, a day, or even a year, but eventually it will subside and something else will take its place. But if you quit, that pain lasts forever. Some of you right now are going through pain. You're struggling, you're hurting, you feel like giving up. But I'm here to tell you, don't quit. See, the difference between people who make it and those who don't isn't that they don't experience pain. It's that they push through it. They understand that pain is only a season, not a sentence. Champions don't run from the pain. They endure it, they grow from it, and they use it as fuel. If you want success, if you want to be great, you have to embrace the struggle. You have to be willing to go through what others won't so you can live how others can't. You think your pain is unique? You think you're the only one? No, every successful person you admire has gone through their own pain. They just refuse to let it stop them. Pain is temporary, but quitting makes it permanent. Pain is something we all experience. It can be physical, emotional, mental, or even spiritual. It comes in different forms: failure, rejection, disappointment, exhaustion, and setbacks. But no matter how intense, no matter how overwhelming, one thing is certain: pain does not last forever. It may feel like it will never end when you're in the middle of it, but eventually it will fade. And when it does, what will be left? Growth, strength, resilience, and success. Or regret because you gave up too soon. Too many people let pain dictate their decisions. The moment they feel discomfort, they back off. The second they face resistance, they stop. They convince themselves that the pain is too much to handle, so they quit before they ever see the reward. But the truth is, the people who achieve greatness are not the ones who avoid pain. They are the ones who push through it. They are the ones who understand that pain is just a test, a necessary process that shapes them into who they need to become. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they never experienced pain? Do you think they never had moments where they wanted to quit? Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't good enough for television. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. But they didn't let that pain define them. They didn't let a temporary setback become a permanent defeat. Instead, they pushed forward, endured the hardship, and came out stronger on the other side. When you quit, you make that pain permanent. You carry it with you for the rest of your life. You look back years later and wonder what could have been. You see others who push through and think, that could have been me. The regret of quitting lasts much longer than the discomfort of pushing through. But when you endure the pain, when you fight through the struggle, something amazing happens. You grow, you get stronger, you become someone who is unshakable, someone who doesn't back down when life gets tough. The gym is a perfect example. If you want to build muscle, you have to lift heavier weights. You have to push yourself past your limits. Your muscles will ache, you'll be sore, and you'll feel like you can't do another rep. But what happens when you keep going? Your muscles rebuild stronger than before. The pain you experience in the moment leads to strength in the future. But if you quit when it gets tough, you never see the results. The same applies to life. Every challenge, every hardship, every painful moment is breaking you down so you can be rebuilt stronger, but only if you endure it. Too many people underestimate their own ability to push through pain. They think they've reached their limit, but in reality, they're only at 40% of their true potential. The body and mind can handle far more than we believe. Navy SEALs have a rule called the 40% rule, which states that when you think you've done, you're actually only at 40% of what you're truly capable of. Your mind wants to stop long before your body actually needs to. Pain tricks you into believing you should quit, but in reality, you still have so much more to give. The problem is that most people never reach their full potential because they give up too soon. They feel a little discomfort, a little resistance, and they stop. But success is not given to those who quit at the first sign of pain. It is given to those who push through, those who keep going even when everything in them is screaming to stop. Because on the other side of pain is something greater: growth, success, achievement, and pride in knowing you didn't let the struggle defeat you. The next time you feel like quitting, remember this: pain is temporary, but quitting is forever. It doesn't matter how hard it gets, how much it hurts, or how much you want to stop. Keep going, because when the pain fades, and it will, you'll look back and realize that it wasn't as bad as you thought. You'll see that you are stronger than you believe. And you'll know that because you refused to quit, you became someone unstoppable. Struggle is a sign of growth, not failure. Most people believe that when they struggle, it means they're not good enough. They think that if something is difficult, it must not be meant for them. But the truth is, struggle is not a sign that you're failing. It's proof that you're growing. If you've never struggled, you've never pushed yourself beyond your comfort zone. And if you never push past your comfort zone, you'll never reach your full potential. Think about a seed that grows into a tree. That seed must push through the dirt, struggle against the weight of the soil, and fight its way to the surface. It doesn't break through overnight. It takes time. It takes resistance. It takes struggle. But that struggle is what makes it strong enough to stand tall once it finally reaches the sunlight. Without the struggle, it would never grow into what it was meant to be. The same applies to you. When you're struggling, when life feels difficult, when every step forward feels like a battle, that is when you are growing the most. You are being shaped, strengthened, and prepared for something greater. If success came easy, if everything worked out without effort, you wouldn't appreciate it and you wouldn't be ready for the challenges that come with it. Struggle builds character. It forces you to dig deeper, to find strength you didn't know you had. When everything is going well, it's easy to be confident and motivated. But what about when things get tough? What about when you fail? What about when you feel like you're giving everything you have and still not seeing results? That is the moment when most people quit. But those who understand the power of struggle, they keep going. They embrace the difficulty because they know it's shaping them into someone greater. Look at athletes. The best in the world didn't get there because it was easy. They didn't wake up one day and suddenly become champions. They trained, they suffered, they lost games, they missed shots, they faced injuries, but they kept pushing. They understood that every struggle, every setback, every painful moment was part of the process. It wasn't failure. It was growth. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was cut from his high school team. He could have taken that as a sign that he wasn't good enough. He could have given up, but instead he used that struggle as motivation. He practiced harder, pushed himself further, and eventually became one of the most legendary athletes the world has ever seen. His struggle didn't define him, his response to it did. The same goes for Thomas Edison. He failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Imagine if he had given up after his first failure, or his 100, or his 1,000. If he had let struggle convince him he was failing, we might not have the technology we do today. But he understood something most people don't. Every failure, every struggle, every setback was bringing him closer to success. If you're struggling right now, if you feel like you're working hard but not seeing results, don't let that discourage you. Let it be a sign that you are on the right path. Let it remind you that growth isn't comfortable. If it were easy, everyone would do it. The fact that you are facing difficulty means you are moving in the right direction. It means you are stretching yourself, developing resilience, and becoming stronger. Think about lifting weights. If you only lifted light weights that were easy for you, you'd never get stronger. But when you challenge yourself, when you lift heavier weights, your muscles break down. It's painful, but that pain leads to growth. Your body rebuilds and you come back stronger. The same principle applies to life. Struggle breaks you down, but only so you can be rebuilt stronger. Too many people quit right before they break through. They see struggle as a wall instead of a stepping stone. They believe that difficulty means they aren't good enough, instead of understanding that it's preparing them for something bigger. If you want success, if you want to achieve something great, you must change how you see struggle. Instead of fearing it, embrace it. Instead of letting it break you, let it build you. There is no success without struggle. There is no growth without resistance. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to become better, to learn more, to develop skills and resilience that will serve you in the future. If you quit, you guarantee failure. If you keep going, you guarantee growth. So the next time you struggle, remind yourself, it's not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're getting stronger, smarter, and closer to your goal. Keep pushing. Pain and struggle test a person's true character. When everything in life is going smoothly, when success comes easily, it's easy to feel confident, motivated, and strong. But the real test of a person's character isn't how they act when things are going well. It's how they respond when life gets difficult. When faced with hardship, adversity, and setbacks, That's when a person's true strength is revealed. It's in those moments that you discover who you really are, what you're made of, and how badly you want to achieve your goals. Everyone experiences pain at some point in their life. It could be physical pain, emotional pain, financial struggles, failure, rejection, or loss. Pain comes in many forms, but what truly matters is how you respond to it. Some people allow pain to break them. They let it define them, weaken them, and cause them to give up. Others use pain as fuel, turning their struggles into motivation to push harder, go further, and rise above their circumstances. The choice between these two responses is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. A person's character is not built in moments of comfort. It is forged in the fire of struggle. Think about the strongest, most successful people in history: athletes, business leaders, artists, and visionaries. None of them reached greatness without facing difficulties. They all had moments when they could have given up, but they chose to keep going. Their struggles didn't define them. Their response to struggle did. Look at someone like Oprah Winfrey. She faced extreme poverty, abuse, and countless rejections in her early life. Many people in her situation might have accepted defeat, believing that their circumstances determined their future. But she refused to let her struggles dictate her success. Instead, she pushed through the pain, worked relentlessly, and built a career that inspired millions. Her pain tested her character, and she proved her strength by overcoming it. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was once cut from his high school basketball team. At that moment, he had two choices: believe that he wasn't good enough and quit, or use that pain as motivation to work harder. He chose the second option. He trained longer, pushed himself further, and used his failure as fuel. That painful experience tested his character, and he proved that he had the heart of a champion. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison enduring unimaginable hardship. He could have become bitter, filled with resentment, and lost hope, but instead he emerged stronger, more determined, and more committed to his vision of a better world. His character was tested through years of suffering, and he showed the world what true resilience looks like. The same principle applies to anyone facing challenges. When life gets hard, when pain feels overwhelming, that is the moment when your true strength is revealed. You can either let the struggle defeat you or use it to build yourself into someone stronger. The way you respond to pain determines your future. Pain is a powerful teacher. It teaches patience, resilience, and mental toughness. When you experience failure, it forces you to evaluate your approach, learn from your mistakes, and come back stronger. When you face rejection, it teaches you perseverance. When you go through loss, it reminds you to appreciate what truly matters. Every painful experience carries a lesson, but only those who are willing to learn from it will grow. Most people avoid pain at all costs. They seek comfort, security, and an easy path. But comfort doesn't build character, struggle does. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who had an easy life. They're the ones who faced hardship and refused to quit. They're the ones who took their pain and used it as motivation to become better, stronger, and more determined. There's a saying: a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. If everything in life was easy, no one would develop the skills needed to overcome obstacles. It is through facing and overcoming adversity that people grow. The strongest minds are not built in moments of ease, but in the hardest moments of struggle. Pain is temporary, but the strength and character built from overcoming it lasts forever. If you're going through a difficult time, remember that it is shaping you into the person you need to be. It is preparing you for something greater. The key is to keep pushing forward no matter how hard it gets. Pain is inevitable, but growth is a choice. How you respond to struggle defines who you are and who you will become. Pain eventually leads to success for those who refuse to give up. The journey to success is never easy, and anyone who has ever achieved greatness has gone through hardships, setbacks, and moments of doubt. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is persistence. Pain is a test, a challenge that asks you how badly you want your goals. Those who push through, who endure the struggle, who refuse to quit, are the ones who reach the other side and achieve success. Nothing worth having comes easily. The world's greatest athletes, business leaders, artists, and innovators did not reach their level of success without going through pain. Every champion, every leader, every success story has a chapter filled with struggle. They have experienced failure, rejection, and disappointment. But instead of allowing those moments to stop them, they use them as fuel to keep going. Consider an athlete training for a championship. Every day, they push their body to the limit, enduring exhaustion, soreness, and sometimes even injury. The pain of training is intense, but they know it is necessary. They know that the struggle is shaping them into the best version of themselves. They understand that without the pain, there would be no strength, no growth, and no victory. It is the ability to endure pain that separates the good from the great. Think about a young entrepreneur trying to build a business. They face rejection from investors, financial struggles, and sleepless nights filled with doubt. There are moments when everything seems impossible, when giving up feels like the easiest option. But those who refuse to quit, who continue to push through the hardships, eventually see success. The pain of failure and struggle becomes part of their story, a stepping stone on the path to achieving their dreams. Even in everyday life, the principle holds true. A student working toward a difficult degree faces moments of exhaustion, self-doubt, and frustration. But if they keep pushing, if they keep studying, if they refuse to let the struggle break them, they eventually achieve their goal. A musician practicing for years, struggling with mistakes, facing criticism, and sometimes feeling like they'll never be good enough. If they persist, they eventually master their craft and achieve success. Pain is temporary, but the rewards of persistence last forever. Many people give up too soon, never realizing that they were just moments away from a breakthrough. They let the discomfort of pain convince them that they aren't meant to succeed, but those who keep going despite the pain, who see struggle as part of the process, are the ones who achieve greatness. Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb, failed thousands of times before he succeeded. Most people would have quit after a few failures, but Edison understood that pain was part of the journey. He saw failure not as an obstacle, but as a necessary step towards success. Each failure brought him closer to the answer, and because he refused to give up, he changed the world. J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, faced multiple rejections from publishers. She struggled with financial difficulties and personal hardships, but she didn't stop writing. She didn't allow rejection to define her. She believed in her work and kept pushing forward. Eventually, her persistence paid off, and she became one of the most successful authors in history. The road to success is filled with pain, but every challenge is an opportunity to grow. When things get difficult, when you feel like giving up, that is the moment when you are being tested. That is the moment that determines whether you will reach success or stop short. The people who make it are not the ones who never felt pain, but the ones who refuse to let pain stop them. Pain strengthens you. It builds character, resilience, and discipline. Every time you push through pain, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more. You build the mindset of a champion, someone who doesn't back down in the face of difficulty. That kind of mindset is what leads to success in any field, in any pursuit. No matter what you are going through, remind yourself that pain is not permanent. It is a temporary challenge designed to make you stronger. Every struggle, every setback, and every hardship is preparing you for something greater. The key is to keep moving forward, to refuse to give up, and to trust that the pain you are experiencing today will one day lead you to success. Growth and resilience come from enduring pain. The moments that test a person the most are also the moments that shape them into something greater. No one grows when things are easy. Comfort zones do not create strong people. Struggle does. The pain, the obstacles, the setbacks, all of it serves a purpose. They force a person to adapt, to push beyond their limits, to become stronger mentally, emotionally, and even physically. The people who refuse to run from pain, who embrace it and learn from it, are the ones who develop unshakable resilience. Pain is a teacher. Every hardship carries a lesson, and those who are willing to listen will grow in ways they never imagined. Think about a person training in the gym. At first, the weights feel heavy, and the exercises seem impossible. The body aches, the muscles burn, and exhaustion sets in. But with each session, they get stronger. The weight that once felt unbearable starts to feel manageable. Over time, what was once difficult becomes easy. The pain of training transforms them, making them stronger than before. This applies to every area of life. A person who has never faced failure, disappointment, or struggle has never been tested. They may be comfortable, but they have not grown. It is only through facing adversity that true strength is developed. Every great leader, athlete, and innovator has a story of struggle. They have all faced moments where they could have given up, but instead they pushed through. That is what set them apart. Consider someone like Elon Musk, who faced countless failures with his companies. At one point, Tesla and SpaceX were both on the brink of collapse. Many people told him to quit, to accept defeat, but he didn't. He endured the pain, learned from his mistakes, and kept pushing forward. Today, he is one of the most influential entrepreneurs in the world. His resilience was built through pain. Oprah Winfrey grew up in extreme poverty, faced countless rejections, and experienced personal hardships that could have broken her. But she didn't let pain define her. She used her struggles as fuel, pushing herself to become one of the most successful media personalities in history. Her pain became the foundation of her strength. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Most people would have taken that as a sign to quit. But Jordan used the pain of rejection as motivation. He practiced harder, trained longer, and refused to give up. That experience built the mindset of a champion. It was his ability to endure pain that led him to become one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Resilience is built in moments of difficulty. When a person faces failure and keeps going, they prove to themselves that they are stronger than they thought. Each challenge they overcome adds another layer to their strength. They become someone who cannot be easily broken. They develop the mindset that no matter what happens, they will find a way forward. Pain also teaches patience. Many people want instant success, but real success takes time. A person learning a new skill will struggle at first. A musician trying to master an instrument will hit wrong notes, get frustrated, and feel like giving up. A student studying for a difficult exam will face moments of exhaustion and self-doubt. But if they persist, if they push through the pain, they will improve. They will grow. The struggle is part of the process. Life does not give success to those who avoid pain. It rewards those who endure it. Every setback, every failure, and every moment of hardship is an opportunity to grow stronger. People who understand this do not fear pain. They embrace it. They know that pain is temporary, but the strength it builds lasts forever. When faced with difficulty, the worst thing a person can do is give up. The moment of pain, no matter how intense, will pass. But quitting leaves a permanent mark. The regret of giving up lasts far longer than the discomfort of pushing through. Those who succeed in life are not the ones who never experience pain. They are the ones who refuse to let pain stop them. Growth requires struggle. A person who wants to achieve greatness must be willing to endure hardship. Every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Pain is not the enemy. It is the tool that shapes a person into the best version of themselves. The key is to embrace it, to learn from it, and to keep moving forward no matter what. Success is built on discipline, and discipline is built through pain. The road to any meaningful achievement is paved with sacrifice, struggle, and moments of discomfort. Those who reach their goals are not the ones who wait for motivation to strike. They are the ones who show up every day, regardless of how they feel. They push through exhaustion, setbacks, and self-doubt because they understand that discipline is the foundation of greatness. Pain plays a critical role in developing discipline. When a person forces themselves to wake up early to train, even when they are tired, they are building discipline. When they choose to work on their goals instead of giving in to distractions, they are strengthening their ability to stay focused. When they push through frustration and keep practicing a skill, even when progress feels slow, they are proving to themselves that they have the discipline to succeed. There are countless examples of discipline leading to success. Take the case of Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. His talent alone didn't make him great. It was his discipline. He would wake up at 4 a.m. to train, putting in hours of work long before his competitors even got out of bed. He endured grueling workouts, countless injuries, and moments of pain, but he never let them stop him. His success was the result of years of disciplined effort, pushing through pain and refusing to take shortcuts. A similar story can be seen in business. Jeff Bezos didn't build Amazon into a $1 trillion company overnight. He started with a small online bookstore and faced years of challenges before reaching success. He had to make difficult decisions, work through failures, and endure criticism. But through discipline, he stayed committed to his vision. He didn't let setbacks stop him because he understood that success requires consistent effort, even when the journey is tough. Discipline means choosing long-term rewards over short-term comfort. It is easy to sleep in, to skip workouts, to procrastinate on goals. But every time a person gives in to those temptations, they are delaying their own success. On the other hand, every time they push through, every time they choose to work when they don't feel like it, they are strengthening their discipline. Over time, this discipline compounds, turning small daily efforts into massive achievements. Athletes, musicians, and entrepreneurs all understand this. A runner training for a marathon doesn't succeed by running only when they feel good. They train through soreness, fatigue, and bad weather because they know discipline is what will get them to the finish line. A musician who wants to master an instrument doesn't practice only when they are in the mood. They put in hours of repetition, struggling through mistakes because they understand that discipline leads to mastery. One of the biggest obstacles to discipline is the mind's resistance to pain and discomfort. When faced with a challenge, the mind will always try to find an easier path. It will make excuses, look for distractions, and try to convince a person that they should quit. But those who have mastered discipline recognize these mental tricks. They push past them, knowing that the real reward comes from sticking to the plan, even when every part of them wants to stop. A student preparing for an important exam may feel overwhelmed. The temptation to take a break, to push studying to another day, may be strong. But if they choose discipline, if they sit down, focus, and push through the discomfort, they will be better prepared for success. That small act of discipline, repeated over weeks and months, will give them the results they want. Discipline is not something a person is born with. It is something they build. It starts with small decisions. Waking up on time, following through on commitments, staying focused when distractions arise. Over time, these small acts of discipline create a strong foundation. The more a person practices discipline, the stronger it becomes. When people look at successful individuals, they often see only the end result. They see the championships, the wealth, the achievements. What they don't see are the years of disciplined effort behind those successes. They don't see the mornings when that person woke up tired but trained anyway. They don't see the nights they spent working while everyone else relaxed. Success is not a moment. It is the result of years of disciplined action. Pain is temporary, but the discipline built through pain lasts a lifetime. Those who embrace the struggle, who push through discomfort, and who remain consistent even when things get tough are the ones who achieve greatness. It is not about talent or luck. It is about doing the work day in and day out, no matter what. That is the true path to success. Pain is not the enemy. It is the force that pushes people to grow, evolve, and reach levels they never thought possible. The human body, mind, and spirit are all designed to adapt to stress and adversity. When faced with challenges, people have two choices: let the pain break them or use it to build something stronger. Those who succeed in life are not the ones who never feel pain. They are the ones who refuse to let pain stop them. Imagine an athlete training for the Olympics. The hours of grueling workouts, the early mornings, the sacrifices. None of it is easy. Their muscles ache. Their body screams for rest, and exhaustion threatens to take over. But they push through because they understand that every moment of discomfort is making them stronger. Their endurance is being built. Their skills are being sharpened. Without pain, there's no growth. The same applies to anyone chasing a goal. A student preparing for a difficult exam, a business owner trying to build something from the ground up, an artist working on their craft. None of them achieve success without struggle. The late nights, the failures, the rejections, all of it plays a role in shaping them. If success were easy, everyone would have it. But the truth is, only those who endure the pain of discipline, of setbacks, of continuous effort will reach the top. Pain also has a way of revealing what a person is truly capable of. People often underestimate their own strength. They believe they can only handle so much before they break. But when they are put to the test, when they are pushed to their limits, they discover that they are far stronger than they ever imagined. Think about a marathon runner. At some point during the race, exhaustion sets in. Their legs feel heavy, their breathing becomes difficult, and every part of them wants to quit. But those who push past that moment, who refuse to give in, find a new level of endurance they didn't know they had. In life, pain is the test that separates those who succeed from those who give up. It forces people to make a choice: keep going or quit. The ones who keep going are the ones who achieve greatness. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, didn't reach his level of success because things were easy for him. He faced rejection when he was cut from his high school basketball team. He could have let that pain define him, but instead he used it as motivation. He worked harder, trained longer, and became one of the greatest athletes in history. Oprah Winfrey faced unimaginable hardships in her early life. She dealt with poverty, trauma, and rejection. But instead of letting pain defeat her, she used it as fuel. She turned her struggles into lessons, and those lessons shaped her into one of the most influential media personalities in the world. Pain also teaches resilience. Every time a person faces a challenge and overcomes it, they become stronger. They develop the ability to withstand pressure, to keep moving forward, even when things seem impossible. Life is unpredictable. There will always be obstacles, failures, and disappointments. But resilience, the ability to keep going despite setbacks, is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who fall short. Consider an entrepreneur building a business from nothing. At the start, there are countless failures. They may lose money, struggle to find customers, or face rejection from investors. Many people would give up after the first few setbacks. But those who succeed are the ones who push through. They learn from their failures, adapt, and keep going. The pain of rejection and failure does not stop them, it drives them forward. Pain is also a teacher. Every struggle carries a lesson. When someone fails at something, they have two options: dwell on the failure or learn from it. Those who learn grow. They improve. They become wiser and more prepared for future challenges. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a step toward. The greatest minds in history understood this. Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb, failed thousands of times before he succeeded. But he didn't see those failures as the end. He saw them as lessons. Every failure brought him closer to the right answer. If he had given up after the first 10th or 100th failure, the world might not have had one of its greatest inventions. The same principle applies to any goal. The pain of effort, of failure, of disappointment, it all serves a purpose. It shapes character, builds resilience, and prepares people for greater things. Those who understand this do not fear pain. They embrace it. They know that pain is temporary, but the strength it builds lasts a lifetime. Pain is temporary, but the lesson, strength, and resilience it builds lasts forever. The struggle you face today will one day become the reason for your success. Every setback, every rejection, every failure is molding you into a stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable version of yourself. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who don't is not talent, luck, or circumstance. It's the willingness to endure pain and keep pushing forward. When you embrace the struggle, when you refuse to quit, when you use pain as fuel instead of letting it break you, you become unstoppable. No challenge can hold you back. No obstacle can stop you, and no failure can define you. Keep pushing, keep grinding, and remember that every moment of pain is simply a stepping stone on the path to greatness.